All right, guys, everyone should have recording access. Just a reminder, it's Fast Friday, so about 10 minutes or less. I don't see any hands raised just yet. So if someone wants to start us off with the first question, the floor is open.
Hey, Matt. Shi Smith's officially out. Have you determined what you'll do at punt return, whether that's bring up Erickson or Saunders or use DJ Moore back there?
It'll be Erickson.
Guys, have any more questions?
What about him was the reason you decided to bring him up?
He's got a long history of doing it. Did it in the preseason. Did it, for the last several years. Hasn't NFL touchdown. Returning punts. He's been really good at practice. Smart, can back us up at different positions. So, he's a guy that we have a lot of confidence in.
Go ahead, Antonio.
Hey, Matt, good to see you. Quinnen Williams is probably one of the best young defensive tackles in the league. How you see the matchup against your interior offensive linemen, and if you think that will be one of the keys to win the game?
I think always, your offensive and defensive lines, how they match up is a key to winning, right? I mean, I think that's, you have to be able to run the football and stop the run. You have to be able to protect your quarterback and affect their quarterback. So, I'm always going to see it that way. I think Quinnen's a fantastic player. Haven't seen him in the preseason, but going back and watching him on tape, just explosive, dynamic, tremendous speed, sideline to sideline, plays with great length, has a vast array of pass rush moves. And, you combine him, you have Fadukasi on the other side, you've got some big, powerful, strong men, Sheldon Rankins. I mean, they've got a tremendously strong defensive line. So, I do think that'll be one of the keys. And anytime you go against a great player, you recognize the fact that, he is a great player. And so we have to work as a team together. The entire 5 offensive linemen, all of us working together to make sure that, we execute what we're trying to get done.
Let's go to Joe Person, followed by Steven Toronto.
Hey, Matt, wondered what Dennis Daly's week was like. And then also, do you anticipate John missing next week's game as well?
I have no update on John. I just, work off the doctors with that. In terms of Dennis, I mean, we've seen Dennis go out there and play. We know he's a really good player. I think, he's just got to go out there and go out there and play. I mean, he's talented. He's powerful. He's athletic. He's smart. He plays hard. So, we just need him to go out there and get reps. And so we're going in there fully confident in him and expecting him to play well.
I've got one and then a follow-up. Coach, I read what you said to the New York Post about having a New York Sack Exchange poster on your wall growing up. If it did, how did watching guys like Joe Klecko, Mark Gastineau, Marty Lyons influence the way you approach defensive football, specifically when it comes to pass rush?
And I think the fourth member was Rasan Salam. I want to make sure I say that right.
That's correct.
I think so.
Yep.
And that came out each week. I think it was the New York Post, the Daily News. Every week there'd be a different, person. I think if anything, I was so young. I think it just influenced my love of the game. Mark Gastineau and his sack dance, and that was a great time. As a young kid growing up in New York City, Lawrence Taylor, Mark Gastineau, just a lot of great defensive players. I got to know Danny Klecko really well and had a chance to meet Joe Klecko a few times. One of the only men that he was named to the Pro Bowl at 3 different positions. The Temple alums during my time at Temple. So I'm a guy who loves football, loves history of football, and just probably I started at a young age and started with those Jets teams, those Giants teams I grew up on.
Just out of curiosity, do you still have that poster?
Oh, no chance. Not a chance. I can still remember I think I had Walter Payton and Randall Cunningham were my other 2 posters on the wall. So unfortunately, none of them left.
Let's go to Will Palachuk and then David Newton.
Matt, as far as just specific things you've seen from Sam, what specifically have you seen from him that has you confident that he's rid himself of the problems that he had in New York?
Yeah, he's protected the ball. All preseason. I don't think of anything about him from his time before us. He's just been our guy. I think the biggest thing, Will, has been his growth from last spring till now. How comfortable he is. I'm not one of those guys, I'm not one of those hey, fake captain guys, guy doesn't get votes, but you make him, like that. Our team voted Sam Darnold as their captain. And I mean, I'm talking at the top, near the top of the list. So that comes from Sam having just, control over the offense, control over what he's doing, control of the guys around him. And again, I think the biggest thing is he doesn't make excuses. He doesn't ever blame anyone else. He always puts it on his shoulders, almost to a fault. I want to see Sam go out there and relax and play, and not because we're playing the Jets, but because it's game one. I want to just go out there and play, and good things are going to happen and bad things are going to happen. And you just have to trust that in the end, you'll find a way to win. And so my message to Sam is the same as the rest of this team: play one snap at a time. Don't worry about the scoreboard, focus on what you can control and just keep attacking. And so Sam's done that. As I've said all along, every play, every day can't be a referendum on him. He has to trust and believe in himself like I do. And he has to just go out there and play. And I've seen that growth. Now we enter the stage of going and playing in games. And when you play in games, bad things happen. And how do you respond to those? And I'm expecting him to respond the way he does in practice, which is, hey, let's find the next completion.
Hey, Matt, you said a couple days ago that you want to get the ball to the hands of Christian early. And as I was watching the game last night and seeing Emmitt Smith not getting used early, I know that had a lot to do with who they were playing and a tough defense in Tampa, but how important is your scheme to get that running game going and not go away from the run like you see some teams do?
Are any of you guys going to say something to him or no? I see you all laughing. Go ahead, Joe.
Emmitt Smith.
Oh,
Emmitt
thanks,
Smith
Steve.
came back.
I'm sorry, Ezekiel Elliott. I apologize.
All right. So make sure
I live
I didn't
in
want
the
to do
past
it,
sometimes.
David. I didn't want to do it to you, but they were all smiling. I just want to make sure.
All right,
No,
good.
I'm with you. They showed Emmett on TV. I'm an Emmett fan forever. I think, at the end of the day, I think, great play callers, whether it was, Kellen last night or Joe Brady, it's about, hey, doing what you do well, but also reacting to what you see. Right. And so if people are going to play cover 2 against you, then you're gonna have to run the football repetitively. If people are going to load the box on you, you got to throw the football. And so now there's ways to try to stay balanced. But the great thing about Christian McCaffrey is, he catches the ball as well as he runs the football. And so, I have a lot of respect for Coach Sala. I have a lot of respect for Coach Olbrich. I mean, those guys are great defensive coordinators. And we understand that we have got to spread the ball around to the different guys. At the same time, we have to do what we do well and just focus on us. So we'd like to get Christian involved. We also want to get DJ and Robbie involved and Danny and all the guys. So we're gonna call plays that way and just get in the flow of the game and react to how they play us.
Thanks a lot.
We got time for one more, so let's go to Joe Person before we wrap it up.
Tempted to ask you what you thought about Michael Irvin last night also, but I won't do that. Matt, given the terms of the trade with the Giants, is Santoso is this almost amount to like a 1-game tryout, or how do you view that?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, obviously, you understand the terms, right? So there's, but I just want to got to put it through the pipes. And I think, even saw last night. I mean, game 1, I don't expect anybody to be perfect, but I love Ryan's approach, his demeanor, his mental outlook. And I know he's got a big leg. And the one time we put him out there for us so far, he made the kicks. So I'm expecting him to go out and kick well, on Sunday. He gives us tremendous range out there. So I'm hoping he does a great job, as we move forward, and can be our kicker.
All right, guys, that's going to do it. We appreciate it, Coach.
Thanks, guys.